Let me tell you something. Olympics is all game banger. You see them big volleyball, Brazilian volleyball players, they looking and you looking, everybody looking.
Woo! Dangerous.
Hey, don't nobody know how to speak no language, but you feel me?
Everybody
feel the energy.
Energy speak,
You can
man.
feel the energy.
The Olympics are supposed to be about gold medals, national pride, and world records. But if you ask NBA players who've actually been there, that's only half the story. Inside the Olympic Village, there's a whole different kind of competition going on, and nobody really talks about it out loud. Kevin Garnett learned that the hard way when he showed up at the 2000 Sydney Olympics, locked in and ready to hoop. KG thought it was all gonna be basketball, film sessions, and flags waving.
The dopest part about the Olympics, y'all, the day one when you get there, they got a place that only the athletes can go. So you come in the village, me, Ray Allen, Jason Kidd, and Dice walk through the village on the first day. We go to the game room. This game room is probably about 10,000 square feet. It's got games, it's got everything you can do in here. Everybody is in the middle hitting the table. Every athlete that's in the Olympics is in this room hitting the table.
But what he walked into was straight chaos. Picture this for a second. You've got the fastest sprinters on earth, swimmers who've trained since they were kids, gymnasts, wrestlers, volleyball players, athletes from every corner of the planet, all living together under one roof, different cultures, different languages, different vibes. And KG is just standing there taking it all in like, yeah, this is not what I expected. And then things got wild fast. KG noticed this small dude weaving through the crowd, almost invisible, because he's carrying a massive trash can in front of him. At first, it didn't even register, until someone explained what was happening. 30 seconds later, 10,000 condoms were gone, just like that.
It cracked so hard, security got us out of there. It's like, no, you got to get y'all out of here. And they don't let NBA players in the village because it's so influential.
So influential.
It's so influential.
Shout out to the village.
Somebody getting fucked tonight.
I don't know, they got us out of there so fast. I'm talking about NBA security. You remember Horace? Y'all remember Horace? Y'all remember Horace security? He's like, oh, no, we got to get y'all out of here. Oh.
And nah, this isn't some made-up locker room story. The numbers back it up. At the 2000 Sydney Olympics, organizers started with 70,000 condoms. They ran out halfway through the games and had to place an emergency order for 20,000 more just to keep up. Fast forward to Rio 2016, and the numbers got even crazier. They handed out 450,000 condoms total. That's about 42 per athlete, which tells you everything you need to know about how the Olympic Village really operates. But here's the twist most fans don't realize.
It's a small dude, you can't even see him. He got a trash can. He walking. Finally, he get to this big old bowl on the table. You don't even know this is a bowl. The man dumps about 10,000 condoms in the middle of the thing. and then as he gets out of the way, you can't even see him no more because after about 30 seconds, it's not a condom in the
Gone.
KG and the NBA guys barely experienced any of that madness. Why? Because NBA players don't even stay in the Olympic Village. Not anymore. They haven't since the 1992 Dream Team pulled up and changed everything. Charles Barkley later explained the real reason why. Once NBA stars entered the picture, security went through the roof. Too much attention, too many distractions, too much risk. So instead of staying with everyone else, the basketball players got shipped out to hotels 90 minutes away from the village. While the rest of the world's athletes were living it up, networking, meeting people, and soaking in the full Olympic experience, the NBA guys were on lockdown. But don't get it twisted. They still found ways to make the Olympics unforgettable. Before the 2000 games even tipped off, the USA basketball team made a wild pact, a $1 million bounty to the first player who dunked on Yao Ming. Sounds crazy.
Let me tell you something. Olympics is all game banger.
Until reality hit, nobody collected a single dollar. Yao was blocking everything in sight, 7'6", arms everywhere, shutting the paint down completely. And then, that moment happened. Vince Carter took off, flew straight over Frederick Weiss, and delivered one of the most legendary dunks basketball has ever seen. That dunk didn't just end a play, it ended a career highlight reel and made Olympic history forever. And yeah, if you're rocking with stories like this, make sure you subscribe, because this channel stays exposing the side of sports they don't show you on TV. The French media didn't even bother calling it a normal dunk anymore. They named it La Dunk de la Mort, the dunk of death. When Vince Carter did that, Kevin Garnett thought someone had finally cashed in that $1 million bounty. The whole gym froze for a second, like, yeah, that just happened.
We're walking in, it's dorms. It look like apartments, look like townhomes, but everybody got a Brazilian flag. You look over here, it's a Swedish flag. And this, you see niggas in Speedos, the girls walk, like it's about 1,000 people just walking around, walking with a Dominican flag, it's this. We're going here, everybody hitting the tail.
And that energy didn't stop at the games. Practices were just as intense, if not worse. Jason Kidd ran this brutal drill called one-on-one, full court, starting at half court, no help, no breaks. You score, you stay on, you lose, you're off. KG said him and Sharif Abdur-Rahim nearly came to blows during one of those runs. Tempers were flaring, pride was on the line, and everybody was fighting for respect.
So listen,
Shit it, though.
we had a bounty out on Yao Ming. First cat to dunk on Yao Ming, $1 million. So everybody's trying.
$1 million?
Man, we all said first cat. We all put our hand in. Listen, I think it was Dice, myself. It was like 6 other people that had the. You know what I'm saying? Like we catch him, it's $1 million. Cool. So we was like, cool.
But even all that didn't prepare him for what came next. The opening ceremony changed everything. That's when KG truly understood what it meant to represent your country. Backstage, before teams even walked out, it was pure chaos. Trash talk flying between nations like it was a playoff series. The Australians were talking crazy, swimmers were chirping, track athletes were flexing, everyone felt untouchable on their home turf. Ian Thorpe, the Australian swim legend they called the Torpedo, was going back and forth with Michael Phelps. And the basketball guys are standing there stunned like, hold up, swimmers got beef too? That's when it hit KG. He looked around and saw Serena Williams, Venus Williams, Michael Phelps, all wearing the same colors, locked in, focused, representing something bigger than themselves.
And it had a true, like you feel me? Like it was like some true representation. Like we over here in Australia, we're gonna have to ride as Americans, so we're gonna have to all stick together. But it was a great time, because then you come out, you bite and go, you talking that shit, but they talking that shit too.
It wasn't about contracts anymore. It wasn't about endorsements. It was country versus country, us versus everybody. KG said that feeling of unity hit different, a whole different level of pride. That's the moment that stuck with him forever. And that's why the Olympic Village experience became legendary among NBA players. Years later, Carmelo Anthony admitted on the All the Smoke podcast that during the 2004 Athens Olympics, he straight up snuck off the team cruise ship just to experience the village. Larry Brown told the team if anyone left, they'd be suspended for a game. Melo didn't care. He still went. He said he had to see it for himself. Fast forward to 2012 London, and when Kobe Bryant finally walked through the village, Tyson Chandler said Kobe lasted about 30 minutes before he had to leave.
Anytime we left for practice, and then anytime we would travel, we'd have 2 motorcycle guys on the side with machine guns. Had a guy on the top, in front of the motorcycle, had a guy on the back with a machine gun. Had 2 police cars in the front and the back. And then we had a helicopter above the bus. And then when that was every day we went anywhere.
Kobe told him his blood was boiling, too many athletes, too much energy, too many distractions. He couldn't lock in. But Dwayne Wade remembered something different from 2008 Beijing. Wade said walking through the village with Kobe was when he realized Kobe was on another level, not because of basketball, but because Kobe was casually speaking to athletes in 9 different languages, connecting, respecting cultures, locking eyes, while still being the most intense competitor in the building.
You're talking that shit, oi, 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 Aussie, Aussie, Aussie.
Oi, oi,
And,
oi.
the nigga Torpedo, it was a kid they called the Torpedo because he had like a 17-foot. Him and Michael Phelps was talking, yeah, we're gonna smash all tomorrow, mate. Mate, we're gonna eat your fucking lunch tomorrow, mate. Michael Phelps like, fuck y'all, we America, USA. We was like what? Yo, it was like almost World War III in the back.
That's when Wade knew there are levels to this. That contrast right there is exactly what makes the Olympics different from anything else on the planet. On one side, you've got the wildest environment imaginable happening inside those dorms. Athletes from every country mixing, energy flying everywhere, 10,000 condoms gone in 30 seconds flat. And on the other side, you've got guys like KG putting $1 million bounties on opponents and Kobe Bryant locking himself away from everybody until tip-off. Two completely different mindsets existing in the same space. That's the Olympics in a nutshell. Maximum chaos and maximum focus at the same time. It brings out everything: the competition, the camaraderie, the pride, and yeah, apparently a whole lot more.
So they will always have the players and all of us like 90 minutes away with the ladies and all that, and then they have the Olympic Village, but
KG admitted he only got a tiny taste of the Olympic Village before security pulled him out. NBA rules, extra protection, no freedom like the other athletes. But even that short walk was enough to open his eyes. Because that place isn't normal. It's a world most people never get to see. The best athletes on earth letting loose, rivalries forming before anyone even competes, conversations that feel friendly but got tension underneath, and yeah, where 10,000 condoms can disappear before you finish counting to 30. That's the part of the Olympics they never show on TV. And when you think back to what KG said about the energy backstage at the opening ceremony, it all makes sense. Swimmers sizing up swimmers, track stars staring each other down like it's already the finals. Volleyball players from Brazil eyeing Team USA like, yeah, we'll see. Nobody speaks the same language, but everybody understands competition. Everybody understands pressure. Because for the next 2 weeks, your country isn't just watching, they're counting on you. Even though NBA players get pulled out of the village for security reasons, that pressure still hits them hard. They still feel that responsibility heavy on their shoulders. When KG talked about seeing Serena and Venus in the same colors, when he mentioned linking up with Michael Phelps and realizing they were all fighting for the same flag.
Lord, we finna play y'all, yeah. And then they finna race, they finna swim, so it's a bunch of that back there. Bro, it was like, what is this?
That's not something you get in the NBA. In the league, those people are rivals, enemies, obstacles. Kobe and LeBron spent years trying to outdo each other. No love lost, pure competition. But at the Olympics, it flips. Those same guys become brothers. Same locker room, same mission, same goal. That's why players keep coming back, even when there's no paycheck attached. Carmelo Anthony played in 4 Olympics. 4! That's more Olympic experience than almost anyone in basketball history. And it had nothing to do with money. Because there is none. It's about moments like the ones KG described, walking through that village, feeling the energy of thousands of elite athletes packed into one place, all locked in, all representing something bigger than themselves. That's the Olympics they don't broadcast. And that's why it hits different every single time. That game room KG talked about, that wasn't just a place to relax. That's where real connections were getting built. Tables packed, energy loud, athletes everywhere. Sprinters swapping numbers with basketball players. Gymnasts taking pictures with swimmers. For 2 straight weeks, the best in the world weren't just competing, they were living together, eating together, training together, sharing stories. And yeah, doing a whole lot more together too.
And I saw Serena and Venus, and then Michael Phelps. I was like, oh, we about to get it in here. That's Americans?
Yeah.
What's happening?
Gang in this
Oh,
bitch.
man, it was a whole nother feel.
Former U.S. soccer goalkeeper Hope Solo once said something that made people raise their eyebrows. She claimed that 70 to 75% of Olympic athletes end up hooking up during the games. Not hiding, not sneaking around. She said she saw people acting wild right out in the open. Between buildings, on the grass, zero hesitation. Her point was simple. When you put thousands of elite, ultra-competitive, peak-conditioned humans in one place, things are gonna happen. But here's the part that really messes with your head. Despite all the partying, despite all the distractions, despite all the chaos KG described, these athletes still show up and perform at the highest level imaginable. World records still fall, gold medals still get won, people still do things that don't even look physically possible. That's what separates Olympic athletes from everyone else. The Olympics don't just demand greatness, they demand excellence under pressure. And somehow, right in the middle of all that madness, athletes still find a way to deliver. Maybe that's what makes it special, the pressure mixed with the release, the competition mixed with the celebration. You train your entire life for one moment, one chance, one stage, and then suddenly, you're surrounded by thousands of people who did the exact same thing. People who understand the sacrifices, the injuries, the early mornings, the missed holidays. KG said even in his short walk through the village, he felt that energy immediately. Flags hanging from every window, athletes from countries he'd never even thought about, all there for the same reason, to to prove they're the best. But make no mistake, once competition starts, all that friendliness disappears fast. That trash talk backstage between the Australians and Michael Phelps wasn't just jokes. That was real tension, real belief, real confidence. And we all know how that story ended. Phelps went on to become the most decorated Olympian of all time, and you better believe moments like that fueled him. Athletes don't forget disrespect. They don't forget doubt. They remember everything. KG remembers too. He remembers the $1 million bounty placed on Yao Ming that nobody could collect. He remembers Vince Carter flying over a 7-footer and thinking, just for a split second, yeah, somebody just got paid. That's the Olympics in full. Chaos and discipline, freedom and focus, celebration and war. And once you experience it, even briefly, it stays with you forever. He remembers security rushing them out of the village fast. NBA players were just too influential, too recognizable, too much attention everywhere they went. Not just stars, walking distractions, too many eyes, too much risk. But more than anything else, Kevin Garnett remembers what it felt like. Walking out during the opening ceremony, hearing your country's name echo through the stadium, seeing your flag rise while the whole world is watching, that's the moment it clicks. For the next 2 weeks, you're not playing for a contract. You're not playing for stats. You're not even playing for your team. You're playing for everyone back home, every kid watching on TV, every coach who believed in you, every sacrifice that got you there. That's why KG always said, if you ever get the chance to go to the Olympics, you go. Nothing else compares. The NBA Finals are intense. The playoffs are pressure-packed. But the Olympics, that's a completely different animal. You're not just competing against another team, you're competing against the entire world. And you're doing it alongside athletes from sports you've never even touched. Swimmers, sprinters, gymnasts, wrestlers, all locked in with the same mission. All living in one place where anything can happen. Surrounded by people who dedicated their entire lives to mastering one single thing. Moments like 10,000 condoms disappearing in seconds, $1 million bounties whispered in locker rooms, tension backstage before the opening ceremony that felt electric, security pulling NBA players out before things spiraled too far. That's the real Olympic experience, the side they never show you on TV. And KG lived it. He felt the pride, and he felt the chaos, he felt the pressure of representing something bigger than himself. So now it's on you. If you had the chance, would you want to experience the Olympic Village? Drop your thoughts in the comments. And if you want more behind-the-scenes stories like this from NBA legends, make sure you're subscribed, because we've got a lot more coming, and we're just getting started.